The beeping of the monitors echoed through the cold, sterile room, but beneath that mechanical rhythm lived a secret far heavier than any human heart was meant to hold. Harrison Blake was not unconscious. He was not dying. He wasn't even injured. He was perfectly awake, perfectly aware, and perfectly determined to uncover the truth. For days he had lain motionless, pretending to be trapped in a coma, all because he suspected the one person who worked closest to him, his quiet, soft-spoken maid, Clara, to be stealing from him. But nothing could have prepared him for what he would learn, and nothing could have shielded him from the breaking of his own pride, his assumptions, and the fragile pieces of his humanity. If you believe in kindness, forgiveness, and second chances, make sure to like this video, share it, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more life-changing stories. Harrison had always been a man of rigid logic, a wealthy entrepreneur in Chicago who built empires through suspicion and strategy. He lived alone in a house far too large for one person, protected by alarm systems and security codes that even he occasionally forgot. Clara had been working for him for nearly 3 years, always on time, always respectful, always quiet as she moved through his home like a soft breath of wind. But people talk, and Harrison listened. A neighbor had casually mentioned money going missing. A friend complained about a housekeeper stealing jewelry. And just like that, suspicion planted itself in Harrison's mind, growing rapidly, twisting its roots through every interaction until he found himself analyzing Clara's every movement. When his late father's watch disappeared, something inside him snapped, and the scheme formed, dramatic, unnecessary, but in his mind, essential. He would fake an accident, pretend to slip into a coma, and see what Clara did when she believed he wasn't there to watch. The hospital staff agreed reluctantly after Harrison paid them handsomely to cooperate with the ruse. He told himself it was just a test, that it would prove what he already suspected. But tests reveal truths, and truths don't care about the stories we write in our own heads. The first day, Clara arrived with red eyes, as if she had been crying on her way there. Harrison had expected indifference, maybe even nerves, but he wasn't expecting grief. She sat by his bedside, trembling fingers curled around a folded handkerchief. She didn't speak, just watched him, watched his still chest, watched the faint movements of his breathing, as though silently pleading with him to wake. On the second day, she brought a small tin box with her and set it on the bedside table. She opened it, and inside lay his father's watch, the very item he thought she had stolen. She cleaned it carefully, her hands gentle, as though handling something sacred. She whispered an apology, to whom, he couldn't tell. Shame pricked him like needles beneath his skin. He had misjudged her. By the fourth day, Harrison's facade of confidence began to crumble. Clara's presence was no longer something he was observing, it was something he was feeling. She came before her shift, stayed after it, sat beside him even when she thought no one noticed. She would hold his hand sometimes, just for a moment, when her emotions overwhelmed her. Harrison heard everything she murmured under her breath, every prayer she offered, every memory she shared of small acts of kindness he never realized she had noticed. But it was what she said on the seventh day that shattered him. The morning was dim, rain streaking across the window like tears from the sky itself. Clara stood at his bedside, clutching her phone with trembling hands. Her face was pale, streaked with fresh crying. Harrison wished he could sit up, speak, comfort her, but he forced himself to remain still. She told him her brother in Texas had passed away during the night. She had no family left now. No place to go. No one to lean on. Yet she stood there, trying to steady her breath as she whispered that she would keep working, keep taking care of Harrison's home, because he had always treated her with respect, even if she never felt worthy of it. Her voice cracked as she confessed that she had planned to return the watch weeks ago, terrified he might fire her for holding onto it too long. She wanted to fix its broken strap first, as a surprise, because it reminded her of the father she had lost too soon. She admitted she had been saving every dollar, skipping meals at times, to repair something that wasn't even hers, because it was the last thing Harrison's father had given him, and she believed people should never lose the things that connect them to love. Then Clara spoke the words that broke him. She whispered, "If he doesn't wake up, I hope he somehow knows he made life easier for someone who had nothing. I hope he knows I was grateful, even if he never saw me." Harrison felt something inside him crack, a deep, haunting fracture that exposed all his wrong assumptions, all his carelessness, all his pride. This woman he had suspected, judged, and monitored, she had been praying for him, grieving for him, caring for him in a way no one else had in years. He realized how long it had been since someone had spoken about him with genuine affection, without wanting something in return. And he realized how terribly he had failed her. He couldn't lie there any longer. That afternoon, under the stunned gaze of the doctor who had assisted in his deception, Harrison ended his charade. He sat up slowly, weak not from injury but from the emotional weight crushing him. Clara entered the room moments later, carrying fresh flowers. She froze when she saw him sitting upright, her eyes wide with disbelief, relief, and confusion flooding her expression all at once. Harrison apologized, not with shallow words but with a raw, honest confession of his failures. He told her the truth of the test, admitting how deeply wrong he had been. Clara stood there trembling, her face a canvas of heartbreak and exhaustion, and for a long moment, Harrison feared she might walk away forever. But she didn't. Instead, she sank into the chair beside him and cried, not out of anger, but release. Within weeks, Harrison helped Clara settle her life, supported her through her grief, and ensured she never again felt alone or undervalued. He gave her paid time off, funded her brother's memorial, and helped her build a future she thought she had lost forever. And in return, she gave him something priceless, a chance to see the world through a heart purer than he believed existed. If this story touched your heart, please like the video, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe for more stories that remind us of the goodness still left in the world. Before you go, comment below, what would you have done if you were in Harrison's place?